Get some analysis now from Robert Maginnis. He is a retired lieutenant colonel and a Pentagon strategist and joins us live from Virginia. Mr. Maginnis, a pleasure. So there are, of course, still many questions about the U.S. withdrawal. Firstly, is it purely a political decision to fulfill a Biden campaign promise, or has the U.S. thrown its hands in the air about any possible fix to Afghanistan?
Well, I think there's a mixed bag here. Obviously, we've been there 20 years. We have a lot of people that opposed what Barack Obama did, and that is raised the ceiling on the number of troops to 100,000. And then, of course, it's waxed and waned since that time. But I think there's some recognition, as your reporter just indicated, that the nation building has not worked in spite of spending $1 trillion and 2,500 lives. As well as NATO's and other personnel. So it's very clear, especially in the neighborhood, you're beginning to see the Chinese, Russians, Indians, and Iranians talking to the Taliban. They have a sense that there's blood in the water and that the end game is really in the Taliban's hand. And as your reporter indicated, 46% at this point of all the district areas, a large swath of Afghanistan, is clearly already in the Taliban's hands. And there's no indication, in spite of what Mr. Biden is saying, that the Afghan army is going to do what is necessary to push back against this aggressive Taliban.
You mentioned the Chinese and the Iranians are speaking to the Taliban. Well, President Biden has been ignoring many people who say now is not the time to send American troops home. What exactly are critics arguing?
Well, taking not only the troops, but of course the airstrike capability, and that's really what sustained the Afghan army, is the ability to call, fast-moving jets dropping bombs on Taliban targets. At this point, the Taliban is really making hay on, the Afghan army that is in some cases actually abandoning their fighting positions and moving either to Tajikistan or elsewhere. They just aren't showing the resilience that you would expect after 2 decades of training and equipping this force. So the Taliban seems to have the resilience. Now, politically, they've dragged their feet over in Doha, Qatar, with regard to the peace talks, but on the side, as I indicated earlier, they're talking to a host of people, to include today. They were in Tehran, and the Iranians are trying to, in spite of being not very friendly to the Taliban, trying to figure out how they can take advantage of the dwindling, tragic situation here.
Do you think the U.S. is concerned about Russia's involvement with Central Asian countries to the north of Afghanistan, like Turkmenistan?
Well, there's no doubt. Those 4 countries are, of course, former Soviet satellites. The Russians have troops in the region. They use that as a launching site for a lot of their rockets going at outer space. So, yes, they're very concerned. And that's why the Russians have been really getting rather close, not only to Afghanistan, but also to the Pakistanis. And, of course, their erstwhile ally, the Chinese, have been involved as well. So it's a regional battle. It is their background. I can understand their involvement. But of course, with the U.S. withdrawal and its forces from that area, it will become a no man's land very quickly. I do believe that we're either facing civil war, as the intelligence community suggests, within 6 months, or if the Afghan army finds the backbone, then they'll fight and it will come to some sort of draw. But we don't know what this is going to be like afterwards.
Mr. Maginnis, always informative, getting your perspective. Thank you.